Right.
Things have been crazy lately, and these are some dark times, especially when Slam interrupts my intro. Do you want to start again?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm sorry. I was like, oh no, he's still going.
Things have been crazy around here these days. There have been crazy things going on with Sony and Microsoft, and for some, these are some dark days. But there is a glimmer of hope, or many, actually, coming up this year and next year. And the glimmer of hope that we want to talk about on this episode is Fire Emblem, baby. Let's freaking go, because it's coming soon, and we are so freaking excited for this game. It's going to be incredible. So what we want to do today is we want to talk about 5 things that we absolutely want to see in Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, and 5 things that we don't want to see. That would be a disaster. So stick around for all of it, and we'll have some other fun goodies at the end as well. But before we get into it, Mags, how's it going?
Yeah, it's been busy. I missed being on the show last week. I was working at a local Comic-Con in Tennessee.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back.
Yeah, thanks. It was super fun, super exhausting, but a great time. And I'm so glad to be back. I feel like I have so much to update y'all on as far as games. I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't think I've been able to mention that since
Let's go.
I finished the game. So yeah, so amazing. We'll definitely do like some kind of episode where we talk more in detail about it. But like,
are you going to write about it for Nintendo Force? Am I allowed to ask that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, I get like 1,400 words, so I get to write a lot about this game. So I'm super excited. But like, I guess what I can say to just kind of like sum up my thoughts in a coherent way and keep it short, since we have a lot to talk about. I didn't understand the appeal of Final Fantasy VII for a long time. I played Remake and I didn't quite get it. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, everyone talks about this game. Like, it's just so good and they love it. And, you know, after playing Remake, I was kind of like, I don't know if I see it. I see it now. I see it after Rebirth. I understand like the story, like the lore that's with like woven into it all. I see the appeal of the characters and like what they're about and who they are and how they interact as a party. Like it just all like Rebirth helped it all click for me. And I'm just so glad that I gave it a chance. And that's thanks to y'all. That's thanks to some people in the Discord who like were just like, play it, Mags, play it. Because I wasn't really super like encouraged to play it for a long time. And I'm so glad that I changed my mind on that because it's so good. I had so much fun. I see the appeal. I'm so excited for Revelation next year. I can't wait to see more and to see how this story ends because it's got me. Like I get it now.
Let's freaking go. Yes.
Yep.
So let that be a lesson to everybody out there that, you know, if you think you're annoying your friends by telling them they should play this game, maybe one day they'll get it, you know?
Maybe they will. Maybe
just
they will.
Just like Mags. Let's go.
Yeah. And then I also played through and finished Paranormasight.
You did?
Mysteries of Honjo. Yes. It's kind of more of a short, like spooky visual novel / adventure game from Square. I wanted to play something short before I went into Digimon because it was like really long JRPG with Rebirth.
What was the time on it?
It was about maybe 10, 12 hours.
Okay. I started it a while ago, but I wasn't sure how long it was going to be and I got distracted. Which, happens.
I really liked this one. Like if you've played 13 Sentinels, it kind of tells its story in a similar way where there are different main characters with routes and you have to play certain routes through before you can unlock the next piece of the next route. And so you're getting all these different perspectives within the story. The lore is like so well done. Like it's definitely like Japanese, like Japan in the 80s. There's just like some weird, like mystical stuff going on. There's curses, there's like spooky things. And I really love the aesthetic of it and just kind of like the mystery solving aspect because the game requires you to really think about how to progress. Like there's certain things that you have to do and think pretty deeply about it to figure out how to continue the story. So highly recommend, especially if you want something that's shorter.
Yeah.
That could just be something that you play like in the interim when you're waiting for your next big game to come out. And then I started Digimon, and it's super fun, and it's taking me back to my childhood. And I know y'all want to talk about it too, but I'm so glad I waited to play it on Switch 2. It's perfect there. It looks amazing, and it's just like it just reminds me of simpler times. And
I'll get
having
to
a great
it, but
time.
I'm obsessed. I'll get to it here in a second, but yeah.
So
sweet. All right, Slam, how's it going, homie?
Hey, it's going good. Good. So I've been playing a lot of stuff too.
Let's go.
I finished The Adventures of Elliot. Got all the
true
endings. The true ending.
Ooh,
yeah.
Word.
Fancy.
And look, if you're playing this game and you're thinking after the first credits roll that you're done, go back and play it until you get the true ending, because the first ending credits roll is not really an ending at all, and I don't even like that they did that. I thought that was ridiculous, and it's not very good. It's not a good way to end the game. The true ending, however, is amazing, and there's giant twists and turns and things that happen associated with the story that involve the entire game that are super important. So go see it through to the true ending. Totally worth it. Loved the game. I am playing also Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag Resynced. I've played a lot of the Assassin's Creed games, not to completion, but I think they're just like fun games to exist in and mess around in. They're good sandboxes. And this is barely an Assassin's Creed game. It is basically just like an open world pirate sandbox game where you just do pirate things and an open world and kind of just, have fun. So I've been playing that, having a good time. I did play it back when the PS4 launched. I think that was the reason. That was the game.
Remake. I don't think I realized
it is a remake.
Yeah.
So the PS4, it came out around the PS4 launch, and I remember thinking, this is the best game on the PS4 launch. This was the game I was totally obsessed with back then. So I did finish it back then, but this game, this remake is insane what they've done here. So excited about that. But yeah, I've also been playing Digimon. I played Digimon, almost finished it back when it came out on the PlayStation 5. But I didn't quite finish it. I knew I'd want to spend a lot more time in the game instead of kind of powering through the main story. So that's what I've been playing as far as Digimon's concerned. And then the other game I'm totally obsessed with right now is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. So another game I played back when it came out on PS5. I finished the main story and played some of the post-game stuff, but this game's all about the post-game. The main story is kind of just there to get you to help you get the hang of things and how the game plays and all that. But then the post-game is really where it's at. And this is basically anime Monster Hunter, essentially. It's it's so good. The combat is amazing. And we talked extensively about Sword Art Online last week and some of the things that it was lacking. And I think that if you're not a hardcore Sword Art Online fan, but are looking for a really good action-based JRPG with a heavy focus on gameplay, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is incredible. And they added a ton of new content with Endless Ragnarok. So I'm juggling 5 different games at the moment. Playing a lot on my Switch too, really, because I just had twins, so it's a little bit more difficult to get the time to get the gaming in, and sit and have dedicated playtime in the office is not as easy as it once was. So the Switch 2 has been incredible for that.
Yep.
We love.
That's awesome. Yeah. Let's see. For me, same thing. I've been playing Adventures of Elliot. I have been really enjoying that game. But I got Digimon for the Switch 2, and I am. It's been a long time since I have been this obsessed with the game. I'm 20 hours in, guys. I have nonstop been playing. I bet
you're not even that far into the game.
I don't know where you guys are. I'll just say I just beat a tower. That's where I'm at. If you don't know what that is, then you haven't gotten there yet.
Hey, you might be decently far actually.
Well, so because like I got, so shout outs to Bandai, I got a code for the Ultimate Edition, and that came with some extra goodies. I did, one of the guys in the Discord, Medic on Ice, shout outs, mentioned that there's like DLC you can get for dungeons that you can grind in, and it was like $6, and I was like, well, I got a code, so I'll check it out. And just everything about this game is genius. It's like they took elements of Pokemon, and I've never played a Digimon game. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I haven't played a Digimon game in a very, very long time, so I don't know what the modern ones are like. I don't know how close this is to, Cyber Sleuth or anything else. But like each Digimon having natures that you can manipulate, having having multiple evolution paths that you can go down. You can build their stats differently. You can like basically have them fuse with other, or you load their load enhancements, right? You can add in Digimon and it increases their levels, which sometimes is necessary to get the stats to take a particular evolution line. And this is the crazy thing. Like I've broken some games before, and when you break some games, it gets boring because the breaking it is fun, but then there's nothing else to do. There's no progress. But then like
the part of the game that's supposed to be fun isn't fun anymore.
But in Digimon, what they did is they did this in such a genius way. Like I totally broke the game before I even saw the title screen show up. I had level 99 mons. Like I went crazy, but you don't get these agent points until you progress the story. And by getting agent points, you can basically unlock these specific skills for different types of Digimon, and how much you level that up can impact how far along you can actually evolve your Digimon. So like there is a progress mechanic attached to the story itself that makes it so that even if you want to be an idiot like me, there's still so much more that you're getting out from the story and from progressing. And so like I haven't lost any enthusiasm whatsoever for this game. I am in love with it. Like this is low key one of my favorite games in a long time so far, and I did not see that coming. Like I am genuinely thrilled with this game. And I knew I would like it. Like I played the preview at PAX West last year. So I knew it was going to be fun, but it's hitting way better than the preview did. And I liked the preview. I was like, that was better than I expected. And now that I'm playing it, I'm like, oh, this is really freaking good. Like I'm just eating this up. And then of course there's the nostalgia, where you have like Mons that you grew up with. I just got, Anjumon, and I have like different variants of Greymon. But then even from like Gen 2 and 3 of Digimon, where you have like XVmon and you have Gilamon and all of these other Digimon that some of them I haven't even thought about in a long time. And then as soon as I see them show up, I'm like, oh, snap, like Wizardmon. This is sick.
I wish I had like the nostalgia you guys have for Digimon. I was an all Pokemon person. I like didn't even give Digimon any attention back when I was a kid. But I'm loving it. I do think it is a very addictive gameplay loop. It is a ton of fun. The whole evolution mechanics are just
it's so good.
Stellar. So I'm in agreement. It's a great game.
And you really can make the teams to be whatever you really want them to be because of those like enhancements that give Digimon like different elemental moves that they wouldn't have otherwise. So I love that because it's basically letting you make your dream team of Digimon.
And when you level up a large variety of Digimon, you learn their skills, and it can equip those skills to other Digimon that would never learn those things. So like the flexibility and team building like opportunity you have in this game are absolutely wild. Like you can do anything. It's amazing. I love it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, like, if you wanted to build a team based on nostalgia or just how certain ones look, like if, like you could do whatever you want because there is so much flexibility in building your team. So I love that because I'm just going to go with like all of the Gen 1 and 2 Mons and just like ride it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it'll be
and
fun.
you have like versions of those Mons that you might not have seen before, so there's still something interesting there.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and then eventually, like, I think you can fuse some of them together and do these other crazy combinations. It's just like don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon, but I remember when this game came out, people were like, "Oh, this is way better than Pokemon," and I'm like, "Oh, this is just the internet being the internet," and people are always making comparisons. But I'm like, there is something to be said about like those of us who grew up with Pokemon wanting to see something that's like, I don't know, more out there when it comes to evolutions, like cooler evolution lines, like doing something different than just the 1, 2, 3, like seeing some different variations. And we've been getting the regional variants and stuff like that. But with Digimon, it's just like, holy smokes, dude. Like, not only do these designs look absolutely fire, but you have individual Digimon that have like 6 paths that they can go down. And some of the Digimon like cross paths, and eventually you can fuse them to get these crazy designs. And it's just like, okay, this is like what I love about Pokemon as a monster catcher and tamer, and putting it on steroids. Like, I am obsessed with this game. I absolutely love this game. So shout outs to Digimon, shout outs to Bandai for the code. This might, I don't know, bring me out of hiding on my channel. I might have to do a video for this one, because I'm way too excited about this to lose that opportunity. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Ooh.
But we're not here to talk about Digimon, even though we did for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, we did talk about it, but we got other things.
We are here to talk about the next game that all 3 of us will surely be obsessed with, and that is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Oh my goodness. I am so excited for this game. I'm sorry, Mags, Trails is going to have to wait. I love Trails, and I'm excited for that too. But
yeah, I know. It's okay. We've talked about this.
Yeah. So the cool and interesting thing about this game, and the reason that we wanted to come together and talk about it in this particular format, is Fire Emblem Three Houses like really took the series in a different direction. I think, Mags, you sort of saw that for the first time this year by playing Path of Radiance, where you're saying, okay, where did Fire Emblem come from? Three Houses is very different. Obviously, you played Awakening and things like that too.
Yeah.
But Three Houses having the multiple paths wasn't new. Fates did that as well, but the storytelling and the way you built up your team and the way you can recruit and the monastery and all of these things, getting professor points, and all of this stuff to build into the replay value, it just took the game or the series in a different direction. And this one is going to be what looks like it's going to be doing is it's going to be basically taking the series and really moving it forward. So that's why we wanted to talk about some do's and don'ts. What things do we really want to see? What things don't we want to see? And we'll do this where we talk about what we want to see first, and then we'll go what we don't, and then we'll go back and forth until we've sort of finished the list. But we're all very, very freaking excited about this game. So without further ado, let's start with the first of the do's.
Or further a don't.
Slams on with it. Look at that face, man.
He's so proud of himself for saying that. Look at him.
So clever.
He's so proud.
The first do, we want an engaging and thoughtful storyline or set of storylines for the leads that contribute to the overall Three Houses lore. All right, Slam and Mags.
Okay, we'll take
Expand
it away
for us.
Okay. Yeah, I think one of the things that impressed me the most about Three Houses was that each one of the lords and like storylines that you could progress through, like, were very meaningful, very different in terms of like what path they decided to take and how they got there, and the different like history and background that kind of made the lords who they were and allowed them to make the decisions that they did and kind of set them on these paths. And so I just, even though we don't know a lot about the Fortune's Weave leads yet, like, we know enough details to know that like this story is going to go to some really like interesting places. So So in this I just want to see each one of the leads have a meaningful story that is like very intertwined with like who they are, with their backstory, like how is that affecting the decisions that they make throughout the story, and just have like this compelling arc for all of them that also still connects to the overall story and feels like you're basically getting 4 sides of a story. And then once you get that, you see the full picture and can understand everything.
Yeah. Slam.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just add to what Mag said. I think something that's made Three Houses my favorite Fire Emblem game was like the different storylines and the different characters associated with them and how I connected with those different characters. And honestly, I played those 3 storylines at like different periods of time. So I didn't do them all back to back. Like I went and returned to the game. So I like had like I have like different memories associated with like the different houses, which is kind of cool. I think like I'm gonna have a hard time in Fortune's Weave not going and just like kind of playing through them like in a more addictive fashion. But
like some people around here.
Yeah. I might pull a Brandon with that one. But I think yeah, I just want characters I can connect with, really solid writing. I want story to be a focus here because I really liked Engage from a combat standpoint, from a gameplay standpoint. I thought Engage was a really, really good tactics game. I'm not much of a tactics guy. But when we're talking about Fire Emblem Engage, that had some tactics combat that was just, that'll pull in any non-tactics guy. You know,
it was really good.
It was just so good. But the story was lacking. So, and me, I am a story guy. So
you sure are.
I think like having and Fire Emblem, like some Fire Emblem games have such good stories. Path of Radiance was one. And you think like back to the story focused Fire Emblem games, those are all my favorites. So I just want to see that level of storytelling here again.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things about Three Houses that I love the most was how they did the storytelling, like the step forward in maturity for the series. Like, don't get me wrong, I love all of them, but there's a pretty basic setup for most of the older ones. You know, like mysterious threat. Turns out someone's either summoning dragons or some dragons involved. You fight them, you fight the dragon, you win. Everybody's happy. There's probably some loss along the way. And Three Houses like took that to another level with Rhea and Edelgard and like the background with some of these characters, some of which you did not get at all if you didn't play the path. Like one of the most fascinating online experiences that I had was having played all of it, watching as people debated these characters without having the other perspective, and just like what that speaks to from the human experience. Like that's how people talk online oftentimes, where they have a very specific perspective. They're not allowing themselves to see any nuance. And so they're going to hit on that argument. And so people had very specific perspectives of Edelgard, of Rhea, of Dimitri, right? Without actually knowing what's going on. And I want that from this game too. I love that part of the story. And I love that each of the characters had background stories that weren't just background stories for the sake of the character. Like these background stories had impact in the world. And my guess is a lot of these characters look either directly related to or within the family line of some of the characters from Three Houses. So I would imagine we're going to see some of that too. So we just wanted to call that out. That's definitely something we want to see, and we're very excited about that for this particular game.
Oh, and one other thing that I just thought of, I think just in line with all of this, we want the storylines to intersect in like meaningful ways too.
Yes.
Because that was a huge, like tragic and like amazing part of Three Houses is when you saw like what happens when these characters, when their paths cross and they don't have the same goals. And so I imagine that like this is going to happen in Fortune's Weave too. And I'm just so interested to see how they do it.
Yeah. Also, just a couple of other notes before we go to the first don't. I would also, along with that, I want to see these be completed. I know
Hmm.
I love Three Houses, but like Edelgard's Path, from if I remember correctly, there was some development challenges. They didn't have enough time, and they kind of like sped up the end. And there's so much you learn in that path about what's going on that for them to end it with like, and they did the thing, and everybody was happy. The end. It was like, what? Like, there's so
Little
much more
rushed.
here we're missing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't want any of the paths to feel rushed this time. I want them to feel fully coherent, cohesive, and complete. And then the other thing, this may not be a thing that, but I've said this a billion times before. In Three Houses, I would have loved if there was a golden path. I
Yeah.
know there's something to be said about, like, oh, well, you have to just enjoy stories that kind of leave it to the, interpretation, whatever. I'm just like, listen, in Three Houses, you are Byleth, you have time traveling powers, like a golden path where you bring all the people together not only makes sense thematically, but would have been really freaking cool. So if they have any of those kinds of shenanigans happening in this game, I would love to see like a reward to the insane players like myself for putting in the amount of time that we put in that says, hey, we're going to give you something that you really want now that you put in the time and the effort. I don't know, something like that. That would be sick. Okay, first don't. And this is a very strong don't. We don't want any creepy or uncomfortable romance situations. Fire Emblem, as much as I love this series, has had some really weird supports where their brother and sister, or this character looks like a 10-year-old, but she's 3,000, and so it's okay. No, 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 no. We don't want any of that nonsense. Fire Emblem Fates probably got the weirdest of all of them. But even back on the Game Boy Advance, like North American original, you had like Raven and Priscilla that was super weird, and things like that as well. So we don't want that. That's weird, Fire Emblem. We don't need that. Normal romances are great.
Yeah. Yeah, and bring on like the good like final S support romances where like you actually do get to see like a culmination of a relationship. I do think Three Houses did that well in a lot of cases when they weren't creepy, but like let's just like leave all of the creepiness out of it and just focus on like the really good relationships because they've proven that they can do it.
Yeah.
I remember like watching the Three Houses credits roll kind of like after you've paired up people and seen how it's like unfolded, and I always love seeing that because I'm just like, oh, I could definitely see that happening. That's so cute. And so yeah, if you're gonna do romance, just make it good and not give anyone a reason to feel uncomfortable. So
yeah. And Fire Emblem has had some really weird ones in some of their games, man.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed we're not dealing with that this time around.
Yeah, and one of the things that engage, like I could be misremembering, to be fair. So someone feel free to call me out in the comments if this is not accurate. I don't remember Engage handling the epilogues in a very interesting way. Three Houses did, but there was some limitations there as well. But like back in the day, like the older Fire Emblems, those epilogues, like when you beat the game and you get the full epilogues and the supports are involved and things like that, they were really good. Like one of the elements of replayability from the original Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem was pairing different characters up, seeing their supports, but seeing their epilogues, like seeing it all the way through, and then it would save that. You could go in and you could see all of that information from their supports and stuff. And you got kind of like the perspective angle from a broader story perspective you got from a character perspective, depending on who you did the supports with. So yeah, I would love to see the more like high effort epilogues based on who you pair up and who the relationships are. And I this is, I'm kind of adding this to this. This is not uncomfortable per se, but Three Houses did kind of a weird mechanic for pairing up, where like if you really wanted two characters to get together, you basically like could not have them fully support anybody else, or there was always a risk of there being overlap. And I kind of hated that. Like it would be nice. It would be nice if they had something like everybody can get to A tier, but a character has to choose S tier, right? So you can still see the supports without being like limited or put in this position where you're like, I don't know, Ferdinand really liked Dorothea, but he's going to go with someone else randomly for some weird mechanic reason that nobody can explain. So I don't really want that anymore. I want to have more control over, how you're putting those pieces together.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because that happened to me with some of the Three Houses endings that I got. And I was just like, but wait, I paired those two up together and like it was fine. So I think that would be a good solution where it's like you get to make the call because that's what you got to do with Byleth. Like even if you were like high rank with everyone, you got to pick the S rank support. So if you could do that with like individual characters and just have them initiate that final thing, that'd be nice.
And like, I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to do it where it was like, oh, well, they're going to be more bonded because they were in battle together and things like this. So they had these like hidden mechanics. But like, I can't tell you, like I had several routes where like I would try to put Caspar with somebody and then he would end up being, with like, who I forget the big meat guy's name.
Raphael?
Raphael, thank you. Yeah. It'd be like, oh, and Raphael and Caspar were homies.
Best
and
buddies.
It was like, but I paired them up with someone else, stuff like that would happen all the time.
And I think like if I'm remembering right, Raphael and Bernadetta were like the cutest. They were the cutest, and I had to pair them up. So I get that. It's like, but why? Why did this happen? So if you're gonna be a matchmaker, you want to see your matches come to fruition. So
yeah. Am I saying his name right? I feel like I'm not saying it right. Fire Emblem. Yeah, Caspar. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel validated. Okay, so that's our first don't. We'll jump over to our second do, and this one is customizable town building home base. Slam, I'm gonna throw this one over to you.
Yeah, so I love town building in video games.
What?
I will take it at any opportunity I can, but I think it just fits so well in Fire Emblem, and I feel like like they're most likely gonna have a hub town here. I think it's already kind of been established from what we've seen. So I would love it if like you can customize and build it up, and some things that you do in battles benefit your town and could unlock and open up new things that you can do within that space. And I could become totally obsessed and addicted to like having the coolest, most awesome town in Fire Emblem. Am I asking for Fire Emblem to be a full-blown town building game? Yes and no.
Yeah, I was like, he's gonna say yes. Yes.
But I think it would be a cool addition to the whole hub world, because I mean I keep drawing back to Engage, but like that little hub zone that they had was just so
cool.
It was cool. It was a cool concept. It was just so basic. Like didn't have a lot of stuff like going on, right? Yeah, exactly. Like you just go back there to like go do other stuff, right? Like it's just like kind of a space to get to the next point. Whereas like I feel like there's so much you could do with that. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, because like imagine if they did like, so they have dungeons. They mentioned that they're going to have dungeons. Like imagine if it was like, go to this dungeon and find this thing and it impacts your town, or like go to this map and clear this trade route and now you can get new items in the shop, or like there's some cool things that they could do where the Fire Emblem gameplay itself contributes to being able to build up your town.
And some customization and stuff too, like maybe even assigning units to certain like responsibilities in the town would be cool. Like there's just so many things you could do with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could also lend well to the whole like support mechanic. Like you could pair people up to do certain activities within your base, and that could build their support. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we did see that in Engage. like where you could like have people do certain activities and it would like
I can't remember.
boost
but, yeah.
stats or boost relationships. So like they've done it before. I guess the flaw with Engage though is that like it's already built out.
Yep.
Like the whole place was already built out, so there wasn't a lot you could do. But if you could customize it and then assign your units to do like certain tasks together, or like maybe that leads to bonus conversations, that would be really cool. And
I
so,
think you could do it
I love
in
that.
3 Hopes too.
Okay.
Yeah, there was something about that, if I remember correctly, in 3 Hopes where it was like, oh, you know, whatever, the horses need to be attended to or something, and you can like send people to do it together. Yeah.
Well, and in like 3 Houses, you had the meals. So there's already like a foundation for that. It's just like they could expound it even more and allow you to also have your own like personalized hub where all this takes place. And I think that'd be so cool because if you think about it, the premise of this game is that everyone is coming to this Coliseum to fight in the heroic games. So a lot of people, I imagine, are like staying in like a bunch, like in tents or like in inns. So that would make the perfect opportunity for you to build something of your own because you probably wouldn't have a home there as any of the leads that you're playing as.
Yeah, and there could be a whole like story thing goes wrong and Colosseum breaks out into all-out war and now you have a base and you have to build up your base, to get these benefits or whatever. Like I could see that happening as well. So yeah. I think that could genuinely be cool in like a new interesting mechanic that doesn't make it feel like a boring hub, because that's one of the criticisms that 3 Houses and Engage get is the monastery, like if they just shortened the monastery parts or things like that. And there were things you can do in the monastery, but it was all based on your professor level. And once you kind of like got it figured out, it was just the same thing over and over again. So unless you were interested in all of the dialogue options, which I was for a while, at some point it becomes super samey, and it like there's not as much meaning in that. So having some progression that you could have with that, I think would be really good. Yeah. All right. Next, we don't want repetitive, speaking of the monastery, repetitive common route content. So Mags, I'll throw it over to you for this one.
Yeah. So as far as common route goes, this is technically what we're referring to before the routes split off. It's often a term that's also used in like otome games where like you have to play the common route, and then depending on the choices you make, it will branch you off into a specific route for a certain character and so on. So like I think with 3 Houses, like it's a very daunting game. It's really good, don't get me wrong, but the fact that you have to play through the common route for a while before it kind of like shoots off, that's a lot. And so I think with Fortune's Weave, to make it a bit better of an experience, like having that common route be a little bit shorter so that the routes get more time and that you kind of dedicate your time to the more unique experience of those stories would help a lot. So I think I would love to see that, because then it's a little less daunting too, where you can play through all the routes and not feel like it's going to take you like 500 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Slam, do you have any thoughts on that one?
I mean, she nailed it, I think.
Thanks, Slam.
I mean, I agree with everything you said. I don't want, that was my one criticism of 3 Houses, and the whole reason why I did play them in different times, because I didn't want to go finish the game and then play that same, I don't know, 20 or so hours again right away, and then through another route play the same 20 or so hours again. It's like you could have done something there to like make that less, repetitive. So
yeah. Or just make it shorter.
Yeah.
Like have it to be like 10 hours where you have to kind of like make your choices, like do what you got to do. And then boom, you're kind of at the sticking point and you're along for the ride.
Yeah. I think if they could go back to, I keep referencing the GBA game, but like the first 10 chapters in the GBA game, the original was Lynn's story, and it was basically designed to be a tutorial. And once you beat the game all the way through, you could start with Lynn again, or you can immediately do Elowood or Hector. And the differences between Elowood and Hector were pretty minor. So that wasn't like a full split. It was just basically like slightly different perspectives on the same story. Now you would benefit from doing Lynn's route again because those characters show up later in the game, but you had the option, like you could just skip it completely, right? So in Three Houses' case, and hopefully in Fortune's Weave's case, if they designed it in such a way where maybe that common route is just like the tutorial bit where you're doing some of these things and you're getting used to the game and figuring out some of the baseline things, and they made that a single path that splits somehow, then that could be a good way to do what they did with the original. But it's challenging when you have different characters and different perspectives, because there's still going to be enough variance that it might be an issue. But hopefully they find some way to streamline that, because I agree that for a lot of people that bloated the overall time.
Yeah.
And, you have people like me being like, you should play every single path because it's so crazy. But then you still have so much of that's basically the same. So,
yeah. And I think a lot of people going into these games want to play all the routes. Like that is the goal. But they might get, bogged down if the common route's long, or they might get discouraged and need to move on to something else. And who knows if they'll ever come back. So, yeah.
No, that's a good one. Okay. Next one is a do. Y'all ready for this?
Third do.
We want a variety of new and non-standard classes. So I'll give a little bit of context for this one, since I think it's good for me. Yeah. Something that I mentioned is going back to the early Fire Emblem games. When we got a new Fire Emblem game, oftentimes the new classes and the way they handled classes was a surprise, and there was always sort of an excitement to like class up and figure out what options you have. And they started getting, like in Sacred Stones, for example, was the first time we started getting branches, and you could sort of see how they played out. Three Houses had a bunch of really cool class options. So this isn't a critique of Three Houses by any means. I just want to see them do something different. I want to see them have a bunch of different super unique, cool classes that have really cool animations and have split paths and different variants and things that are different than Three Houses. Because that's one of the exciting things about that progression. It's kind of like, we were talking about Digimon earlier, right? But in Digimon, if you don't know exactly what you're getting, it's kind of exciting to like put in the work and figure it out. It's the same thing with some of these classes. So I want to see them really bring out some cool, crazy, interesting things that we might not have even thought about,
Yeah. I think I saw one character revealed this week where she has a trident.
Ooh, okay.
I think her name is Esmeralda, and she's with like Dietrich's route, at least. And maybe, I'm not sure how it works, like if you can recruit characters that were kind of associated with others, but it looks so cool. I don't think I've ever played a Fire Emblem game with a character that had a trident. Like that's just a neat concept. So that actually brings a question to my mind. If you could like custom build a Fire Emblem class, what weapons and equipment would they have?
Interesting. So back in the day, I was obsessed with the assassin class. I thought it was so cool to have like a dual wielding character that could have a lethal attack. So I know we get assassin like classes, but a lot of times in modern Fire Emblem games, mounted and flying routes always win. So I would love to see more like on foot style classes that have eventual benefits that can have them keep pace with their mounted counterparts. I know one of the benefits of having a mount or a flyer is that you have more range. But they got to do something about that to balance it out, because like in Three Houses, like people were calling it Flyer Emblem, and it was true. Like, and especially with the DLC, when you had the flying mages, I think I went and did Edelgard's Path, got a bunch of flying mages, and I beat the last boss or the last battle in 1 turn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I flew all the way, or maybe it was 2, but like I flew
so
all the way up,
overpowered.
bombed it, and it was done. That was it.
See ya.
So so I would like to see them do some cool infantry sword like cool I don't know, sneaky stylish characters that are able to do cool things that you wouldn't expect.
What about you, Slam? They're like if you could put together a Fire Emblem class, like what would you want them to have?
Wasn't there like a tactics guy class? Like a tactician?
Well, each lord technically has one, but
no, I'm messing around.
I know.
I like magic.
Slam the tactician. I like it.
I like magic classes.
Okay.
Especially in Fire Emblem. So, oh man, I don't know. There's so like, I try to think back because it's actually been a while since I played the older Fire Emblem games.
Mm-hmm.
Like before I played Three Houses and Engage when they came out, but there's been no Fire Emblem for me outside of that. So I would kind of need to go back and revisit Path of Radiance.
It's so good,
like you did, Max, and give that one a play. Give that one a go. And so, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer, but yeah, something magic. I like the magic classes.
The flying mages were totally broken in Three Houses. Like I'd like to see that come back. Yeah, I think for me, like Sacred Stones for me will always stand out as personally like the most exciting set of variations because like you had paladins, but then you had great knights that were like these giant tank armors, basically like your generals, but they were on a horse.
Oh, wow.
And I think cool. Paladins were still technically better, but like seeing that option, I was like, this is so cool looking. And then they had a variant between assassin and then a rogue. And like there were a bunch of other things like that where even with the mages, you can sort of choose if you wanted to go the standard, like the standard routes, but you had characters like Ewan who could go any direction. And if you made him a druid, he was like a multicolored druid, which was kind of cool. But yeah, just stuff like that where we're seeing characters like designed in ways for a particular class that are just unlike what we are used to in Fire Emblem. I always love seeing those variations and what they decide to do with it and how creative they can get with it. I think that stuff is really cool. So
awesome.
All right. Next, don't. We definitely don't want performance issues.
There we go.
Yep.
I don't think we will have them. Switch 2 has been pretty good about, especially Nintendo games have been stellar on the Switch 2. So
they really have.
Like, man, Star Fox? What?
Dude, Star Fox is so fluid and smooth and amazing looking. Yeah.
Mario Tennis was great too, actually.
Yeah.
I think I'm consistently surprised. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm consistently surprised when I play these Nintendo first party games on a Switch 2, like just how good they are at utilizing the hardware. So yeah, I'm not too worried about this one, but it's good to call it out. Let's not have any performance issues. I think Three Houses, for example, like I did boot that up on the Switch 2 when I first got it. And just kind of see how it looked, and I was like, man, it doesn't look that good. I'm not sure if like it's the art style that doesn't hold up as well, or if it's just it wasn't like a greatly optimized Nintendo Switch 1 game.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was optimized super well. And maybe they just, like you were saying earlier, Brandon, like they kind of ran out of time with the route. Maybe they ran out of time.
They had a lot of development issues with it. Like I think it got pushed further than they wanted. They redid a bunch of stuff. Like there were some issues there. So hopefully with Fortune's Weave, like they figured out their stuff and we're not walking into a scenario where the game needed to restart anything and there wasn't any of this kind of nonsense going on, because then they can sort of lock in and focus on those kinds of things. So
Right.
I do have more confidence as well, but because Three Houses, as much as I love that game, had its issues from a aesthetic and performance perspective, it is definitely worth calling out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next do. This is our fourth do. We want, I wrote down emotional bangers with reveals and things like that. So Mags, you wanna roll with this one?
Sure. I just want this game to make me feel things. I want to cry. I want to like be like a mess lying on the floor, like in the fetal position, because like something happened to a character that I cared about and now I'm heartbroken. So like Three Houses definitely sent me into that space. I'm not going to spoil the like the reveals, but like if you know, you know. Like there were moments in that game that were like truly heartbreaking and tragic, or dramatic because it was a twist that you didn't see coming. Like I have a feeling based on like how their marketing fortunes weave, like they're really not revealing a lot. Like we're getting a little background, like, oh, you know, this character, like he's from Foldland, he likes sweets, like he's got a sword, like, but we don't really know who these characters are, what their motivations are really.
Right.
And so I think that they're setting us up to just get absolutely like decimated with reveals and twists and connections to Three Houses. And so that is one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, is just like the twists, the things we don't see coming. And then of course all of those really big emotional highs that we expect from Fire Emblem. So bring it on.
Yeah.
Make me cry.
What about you, Slam?
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree. I definitely want, like I was saying earlier, when we were talking about Three Houses versus Engage and kind of like the thoughtful storylines and things like that, I prefer the more oriented approach to Fire Emblem. So I am definitely looking more for a good story that's going to make me feel
Slam?
things. I don't really cry that much in games.
Okay.
I'm not really much of a crying guy.
I'm definitely a weepy boy, so I'm here for it.
But
Okay.
I have.
Sure.
And I mean, if it makes me shed some tears, then let's go, bring it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the things that Three Houses did well is it wasn't just things that were like emotional as in sad. Like there was some moments that were just so freaking cool. Like I don't know if this is a spoiler. I'll phrase it in a non-spoiler way, but when Byleth like has his moment and has his glow up, so to speak, or her, that moment, no matter how many times I experienced that moment, I was like, yeah, this is so freaking sick. Oh, I love that stuff. So yeah, those highs are really cool. So I'm definitely here for that. All about it. Let's go. All right. Ready for our fourth don't? Okay, fourth don't. We don't want a less meaningful or silent avatar character. Mags, you have the floor.
Oh, I'll take this one. So it's tough, right? Like we've had silent protagonists. You could kind of classify Byleth as one to an extent. I mean, you had agency, but it did feel a little bit lacking, I think, in Three Houses. Like I would have liked there to be like more voice acting, more of a personality. Sometimes I can understand why devs do that because they want the person to be able to kind of like self-insert. But I just think that like as many flaws as Engage had, I liked that Alear was like a person, a voiced character with a personality that you could just kind of tell where they were, like what page they were on at any point. And with Byleth, that was tougher to do because they weren't voiced and there wasn't always a complete understanding of how they were feeling or what they were thinking at any given point in the story. And so I would just like, we know there's going to be an avatar character in Fortune's We've seen it on the cover. We don't really know what the role is going to be, but I would just like for those characters to just be able to see who they are. like through what they say, have it be clear what they think and how they're feeling as much as possible, or that's needed with the story that they're telling. I totally understand having an air of mystery too, but I just think there are ways to implement a protagonist well, by giving them more of like who they are as a person and weaving that into the story, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Slam.
Yeah, I think, I mean, part of me didn't want an Avatar character at all when they first like announced that Fortune Sweet was a thing. But I'm okay with it. I think that there's ways to do an Avatar character that aren't so generic. I'm going to use Sword Art Online Echoes of Aincrad here. Whereas like the literally probably worst, most generic use of an Avatar character that I've ever seen. Brandon, that is a perfect impression.
That's the emotional response.
Just what they do. They're like,
and the options are literally nod your head, shake your head.
Oh, it's terrible.
And I'm like,
yeah,
like what is this? Like that's the kind of stuff that's like, if you're gonna, that you can't do that. It just completely takes away from every senior Avatar characters and every interaction they have in the game. It just like soils the whole experience.
Soils it.
And so, soiled it.
Soiled it. Anyway, sorry, Slam.
No, it's cool. That was perfect. I think that it really does, though. You know, it can outright make the game worse.
Yeah.
It really can.
I don't understand. Like, I feel like there is an easy combination of you can customize your character and we're still going to make them a character. Like,
yes,
they can still have scenes that are voiced and be rigged up to move in certain ways and not feel like this weird
Persona
shell.
games do a great job at that, you know, like like that whole, you know, Avatar type character metaphor. Your character is actually voiced. So it's like there's good examples of great stories told with Avatar characters that don't have like, you know, these fully written, thought out dialogues. But I just felt like, you know, Three Houses, for example, like I didn't feel like it was bad, but I also didn't feel like it was great. So I would like that.
They could do better
done
for sure.
Yeah.
And in Three Hopes too. So I played Three Hopes. I played all the routes in Three Hopes as well. Like I don't think you people understand. I absorbed every element of the Three Houses lore. But Three Hopes did an interesting thing because Shez, who's the main character in that one, is totally his or her own character. And you meet Byleth. And the Byleth you meet in that game feels very different than the Byleth of Three Houses because they are a character. And, you know, we talked about this. I think I mentioned it in the pre-show. But the sort of the concept of the Ashen Demon with Byleth, you don't really feel that in Three Houses. You're kind of just like brought into things and you sort of just carry forward. And you know you're threatening if you're the player because he's one of your characters and he's great. But like there's no real sense of, oh, this character can destroy people. Whereas in Three Hopes, you sort of get that sense. You're like, oh, Byleth is a little scary. Like I can see why they're called the Ashen Demon. So yeah, I think that speaks to them having probably had the possibility of presenting Byleth's character better in Three Houses. So yeah, I'd like to see in this one. I want these characters to feel like characters, even if they are avatars, and you choose whether you want to be a male or female or whatever. And this is not what's going to happen. But again, I'm going to go back to the original Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem on the GBA, like you put in your information and you were a tactician but all of the main characters were full characters. And then the only difference was they would just talk to you like they would turn to the camera and be like, hey, we're so glad you're here.
Wow.
Or, you know, who knew you had it in you kind of a thing, like, because you're seen as the tactician. So that was brilliant because it's like, I am in the game, but the things I'm doing on screen are because of my character. It's if my character in the game is doing the orders, right? And then the characters interact with you, the player. That was cool. That's not what's going to happen in this one, but at least it made the avatar feel like a part of the story without in any way taking away or even being the main character, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I do have a thought. Like, I wonder if, and this is just, I don't even know if this will happen, but like, we haven't seen a lot about the avatar beyond it being in the cover art. What if the avatar this time is more of like a guiding force to whatever lord you pick? And maybe they're not necessarily like a physical character that like travels around with them, but it's more of like how Sothis was with Byleth. Maybe the avatar is going to be that role to, you know, Kai or Theodora or whoever you choose. And that's like how you influence the story as the player as that avatar.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I just think that'd be kind of cool because we just don't know a lot about it. So we'll see.
Yeah. And the character does have like a very angelic look to them. Like even the wings on their armor. That's very possible. That would be a really interesting like change. You know, because it was Sothis with Byleth.
Right.
But what if you're like the Sothis of this game?
And Sothis still exists. Like, we know that, but I'm just wondering, like, what if that's your role? Is like you're more of the person that is leading this lord forward, and you have to kind of guide them as the player in that avatar position.
I mean, that would sort of bridge the gap with what I was just saying, you know, with the original Fire Emblem. So that would be interesting. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Sounds good to me. All right. This is our last do. We want next level combat that builds upon the formula with the weapon triangle. And Slam, I'm going to throw it over to you this time, buddy.
Sure. So I think we chat about this a little bit kind of throughout the episode, and the fact that Engage was a big focus on combat, Three Houses was a big focus on story. Three Houses didn't have the weapon triangle. And it did affect like my thoughts and impressions and how I felt about the combat. I prefer the weapon triangle. I think it lays out strategy more effectively and allows you to kind of like plan ahead more efficiently. I think the return of the weapon triangle obviously would be good in my book. But I think like we can expect some evolutions in that Fire Emblem combat formula. Not just in like map layout and design, but like overall variations in the combat design. Now, I don't know what that entails. Like, I'd kind of like them to tell me that. You know, they're the ones that are gonna.
They're the experts.
Blow me away with new cool things, right? And I'm confident they will. I think we have this as a do, but I think it's more like a given.
More like a done.
Yeah, more like a done.
There we
I
go.
like that.
Nice, Mags.
Yeah, I did think of one thing that I thought would be pretty cool. And correct me if I'm wrong, like if this exists in a Fire Emblem game that I've not played yet. But what if like the characters you pair up in battle could have like a special move, like animation, like
That's a thing.
But like, is it unique to every single pair, or like, is it?
No, usually it's the Pegasus sisters, or in Path of Radiance, if you put Boyd, Oscar, and Rolf together, there's a tri-attack.
Okay, so I do wonder if like they could expand that a little bit to give you like some more like unique moves, like if you pair up certain people together and they have, you know what I mean, like just I think that'd be cool. Kind
like
of like
have different
Showtimes
formations.
in
Yeah, different
Persona.
formations and give them opportunities to like line up a certain way to do certain things.
That'd be
That could
fun.
definitely add some variety to your tactical options. Like if you place X character here and X character there, what can you do? Yeah, I think
That'd be
that would be
fun.
cool. Yeah, and to be fair, like Three Houses did technically have the weapon triangle represented, but they did it through
Yeah.
skills.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
like if you had your axe, like you could learn the skill where it does more damage to a lance or things like
Right.
that, but it wasn't like out of the box weapon triangle. I agree generally. Like I think the weapon triangle makes sense, and it just simplifies like magic. It simplifies your normal weapons. They could add to it and have different triangles, like maybe add in new equipment or something like that. Which I think they did in Three Houses with like fists and bows and something else. Might have just been fists and bows. But anyway, there's a lot that they could do with that. There's a lot of variety and flexibility that they could add to that system that could make it feel fresh and interesting, but still maintain the simplicity of it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm excited for whatever they do with this one. I'm thinking it's going to be really amazing. For our last don't, we kind of touched on this one, but we wanted to call it out. We don't want shallow and cringy supports. And can I take this one to start?
Take it
and then I'll hand
away.
it to
You
Okay.
had some very like passionate words on the pre-show, so let it out.
Yeah. So what I mean by shallow and cringe supports is basically, please don't ever do engage again. So engage was again, don't get me wrong, it was a very fun game. It was very well designed. It was very aesthetically pleasing, but the supports were super lame. The characters were super cheesy, and characters that they brought in from the rest of the series, they ruined in this game. Like if you're a Fire Emblem fan, you cannot sit through supports with Lyn and be like, this is the Lyn of Fire Emblem 7. It's not. And they made her like bubbly and dumb. Like there's literally a support, I've referenced it in some of my videos several times, where she's like, it's something dumb like, oh, can you cut an apple with my sword? Like, it's like, yeah, there's such a thing as a knife. Like, what's happening right now? Like, why are you so dumb? You literally were on the plains. Your family was slaughtered. You lived alone in the game until your tactician friend shows up. And then you go and rescue your grandfather from murder because you're a boss. And you're over here like, knives. No, that's not Lyn. And we never need that again. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I don't
Just
want
let it
any
out,
of
Brandon.
that.
Just
I
let
don't
it
want
out.
any of that. I want the supports to be meaningful. I don't want the characters to be cheesy. And the whole aesthetic of Fortune's Weave and everything they've shown so far gives me confidence that that won't be the case. But it's one of the things that I hated about Engage. And frankly, I don't like about that kind of like mobile style aesthetic anniversary type game, because they're all caricatures when they don't need to be. I want these characters to feel like grounded and real and interesting, and that again supports to have different perspectives that give you different layers of the characters, things like that. So anyway, I'll shut up now. You guys give your thoughts on that.
I would leave it at what you said. I don't have much to add. I think you made some really good points and some very good examples, Brandon. I really enjoyed that. It was a good watch and listen.
Yep. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
I feel like support conversations are such a cool way to allow like a cast, which can be quite large in Fire Emblem games. So these are great ways to insert lore and backstory and just different like interpersonal relationships between the cast. So like if you're going to do them, like make them meaningful, because otherwise like it's just a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah.
And it's a valuable way to really, pursue character development. So yeah, just make them good. We don't need a lot of, we can have a little bit of silliness if like the character themselves are silly.
Sure.
But for the most part, it's like at least make them meaningful and insightful to who the character is so that you can learn about them.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's especially like in Fire Emblem games, a lot of times you have characters that have support options that are very unexpected. So I love to see when you have something like that where it's like, hey, maybe Theodora, who's this like scary looking boss woman with a sword, and she has a support option with, you know, whatever little cricket who doesn't seem connected at all, but that support is meaningful because there's some connecting point and it adds some lore. Like those kinds of things are great when they're done right. And yeah, Engage just didn't do a great job with that. So I'd love to see them get back to the good stuff and give us some solid supports for sure. All right. Okay, well that's our 5 do's and 5 don'ts. We have questions next, and then we have bonus XP. But let us know in the comments what you think about the do's and don'ts. Are there any do's and don'ts that you guys have for this one before we dive into this? And before we dive into this, I just want to shout out the members. Thank you for everybody who's supporting us, for everybody that's in Discord. If you are here, you're watching this, and you are not one of the members here with us already, or you're not in the Discord, first of all, jump into the Discord. Anybody can come. It's hilarious and chaotic and amazing, and we love that place. But also, if you support us through membership, you'll get access right now to all of our pre-shows. And at this point, we have, is hundreds saying too much? We have a lot.
So many.
There's a ton of content, hundreds of hours of content that you guys can check out now. You can get some of the Slam Mags and Brandon lore and all the craziness that's often referenced in Discord. You'll be able to ask questions just like we're about to answer. So please consider supporting us. We really appreciate it. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And now we're going to jump into some questions. So, y'all ready?
Ready.
Okay. We're going to start with A-Rock 10, and if anybody's new, with him specifically, I always do the emojis. So
yeah, my favorite part.
I know, it's so much fun.
He says, "Hello, guys. Hope y'all are doing great. That was a heavy week." Yes, it was, A-Rock. I wanted to ask a JRPG thing of sorts to you guys. So JC Backfire has Persona VODs with videos on them, and I really, really enjoyed them and thought, am I playing/enjoying JRPGs the wrong way? The emotions, enjoyment, high points, and hits, etc., they feel different. Oh, how do I do an upside down head?
You got to do a handstand.
Nope, not doing that. Granted, I am an action and gameplay focused games enjoyer first. That's why I love From Software's Armored Core more than Souls/Elden Ring. I love Koei Tecmo/Team Ninja games like Ninja Gaiden, Neo, and Final Fantasy Origins more than mainline Final Fantasy. Love DMC with Capcom, even SMT more than Persona. You get the point. I just want y'all's thoughts and suggestions on this, and if you can please recommend me a game or something to try. Thank you.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know much about JC Backfire and his he does videos, I'm assuming, of him playing these games, reacting to these games and things like that. So I'm not sure how to answer like the differentiation between how you feel with these games and how he does. But my answer really would be more of an umbrella broad answer in that, like, I don't think there's a wrong way to enjoy JRPGs. I think like just because like you like different things about a game than someone else does, or you react differently to a game that someone else does, or even maybe this person loves a game and you don't love it, doesn't mean that you're consuming them the wrong way. Some things are for some people and some things aren't. But when you do find something you enjoy and connect with, just allow yourself to exist in it and enjoy it. Don't overthink it. Don't try to be like, oh, well, this person was able to pick this out of that or react this way to this thing, and I wasn't able to do that, or I wasn't able to connect with this. And is there something wrong with the way I'm consuming this game? And the answer to that question is no. You like the great thing about video games and especially JRPGs is how we all connect with them differently. And that's the reason why us three have this show and love talking to each other about them, because we all have differing opinions and different reactions to all of the games that we play. And it just makes it better. If we all thought and felt the same way about everything and every game that we played, this would be a lot less interesting.
It's a spice of life, baby.
That's
Go ahead, Max.
true. Yeah. I love Slam's answer, and I don't really feel like I have a ton to add, but I would say, like, if you enjoy the action and the gameplay aspects of it, like, really lean into that. There are so many games within the JRPG genre as a whole that, like, if you know what you like, just continue to seek out what you like. And as far as a specific recommendation, I don't know if you've played the East series, but I feel like this would be a great fit because it does have a story, but it's very action focused. It's very, like, the stories are simplistic, but they're good. But it's like the action is the fun part. The adventure is the fun part. And I think that kind of fits with some of the games that A-Rock listed. So, like, I would recommend those just to see if you like them and if you jive with them.
Yeah.
I would also say, from a recommendation standpoint, because I didn't recommend a game, if you haven't played Xenoblade, I think it's a game that really balances that, like, heavy challenge gameplay focus with story. So I saw you listed a bunch of games that were like Neo and Final Fantasy Origins over mainline Final Fantasy, or you love, DMC or S&T over Persona.
Right.
So it seems like you lean heavy into the gameplay aspects of video games. I would recommend Xenoblade because it has that gameplay aspect, but it does lean heavily into the story as well.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add in terms of the perspective. I might recommend, if you're interested and you wanted to go backwards, the Drakengard games on PS2, Drakengard 1 and 2. I haven't played 3 personally, but if it plays similarly, I'm sure it would be fun. Drakengard 2 is typically considered the better, but I still love Drakengard 1, and you get the story from it. But they're very Muso-like action games where you're going in and just destroying, hundreds of characters and things like that with a giant sword, and you can jump on a dragon and do some cool things. So the Drakengard games are pretty sick. I would definitely recommend those. All right. Next up, we got Bean Cake. Shout outs. Says, hey, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Just wanted to get your thoughts on the gaming industry right now, especially with how insane budgets and dev times have gotten. Do you think games, especially JRPGs, would be better off and maybe even grow faster if developers took the Falcom route, like reusing assets and putting out multiple different games on a yearly basis, instead of chasing hyper-realistic graphics and voicing every single NPC like Rebirth? Do you think those massive production costs are even worth it in the long run if it takes so long for the next game to come out? I.e., in the timeline of Final Fantasy 15 to Final Fantasy 16, if they were released at the faster cadence, we'd be on Final Fantasy 18 by now. Some might be hit or miss, but you'd have a Final Fantasy that'll at least resonate with somebody. Thanks all.
I think this is a really interesting question. And I'm going to tackle this from, like, a video games or art perspective. And I think that this formula that you listed here for Falcom works for some places, and Falcom has like a high level of quality. I love ease. I love, Trail. I love the games that they put out. And even when you're playing through Trails, like first chapter, second chapter, there are, like the older games, there are reused assets. You notice that, but you also kind of feel like you're playing through one game. Like you're playing through 3 games, but they all feel like one game that you're playing through. Whereas like Final Fantasy 15 and 16 don't. And I think like a lot of the development team's vision is heavily reliant on, like when you look at remake and, Final Fantasy 7 remake, Final Fantasy 13 and 15 and 16, they're vastly different in gameplay styles and how they like formulate story and write characters and just like everything is so like high budget AAA. Like this is just a completely different format for them. And I think if we just like had a game industry that like really leaned into just like one formula that everyone used, I think there would be far fewer successes. Now, would I love to see more games? Like, would I love to see Final Fantasy release more frequently? Would I love to see like Dragon Quest come out far more frequently? Yes, I would. But I just don't. I just think we're asking for the impossible on that front.
Yeah, I think that a lot of developers could stand to learn from the way Falcom operates, because just even this week, news came out that like they have their company like total is like around 70-ish employees. And they have 5 teams within that 70 that are working on 5 different projects. And that's a lot for the amount of people that are in that company. And so I think from an efficiency standpoint, they do really well. And I think that that type of like mindset could benefit a lot of developers. But I also agree with Slam. It's like, I don't think that you can expect every developer to work the same way. And they probably shouldn't, because the process is kind of like how so many things come together with projects like this. So if you have different processes and it results in different like creative ventures as well, like it all works out and you get a varied like group of games that releases. So I guess I can kind of see the point, but yeah, I think that developers in general could probably work on efficiency, but it shouldn't come at the cost of their creativity. There has to be a balance between those two things. And I think Falcom has found it, but developers kind of have to toe that line in different ways depending on their resources, money, manpower, etc.
Yeah. I think broadly speaking, the industry has been trend chasing and making stupid decisions that have led to things like layoffs. And the reason I'm starting with that is because, ironically, you mentioned Rebirth. I think you mentioned Rebirth, right? Or maybe that was just yeah. You mentioned Rebirth. Chasing hyper realistic graphics and voicing every single NPC like Rebirth. The thing is, Rebirth was developed in a surprisingly short amount of time because the team they got together for Remake immediately went to Rebirth, and they all basically were the same. I think it was more or less like the same exact team. So when you keep the teams and you give them direction, they can come out with something like Rebirth in a very short amount of time. If you consider how insane Rebirth is from a content perspective, the dev time on that is ridiculous. And we're getting the third one that's coming out, right? So that's your Final Fantasy timeline right now. So like what you're seeing is between 16 and 17, we're going to have 3 Final Fantasy games that are top tier Final Fantasy games, and Resonance coming out as well, right? So it does seem like Square in particular, to be fair to Square, is going down a route where we're having multiple options given the years. But I do think, again, generally speaking, I do think we are at a point of diminishing return to the graphics. You don't need top of the line graphics to make an incredible game. Like, I am obsessed with Digimon right now, and they are not top of the line graphics. Like, it's got a good art style, but it's not the best of the best. It's not AAA. And I'm obsessed with it, and I love this game, and they did a great job, and I can't wait for whatever they do after this, right? We need more of that in the industry, especially from the big publishers. Nintendo has done an incredible job maintaining their frequency of releases. So like, I can't complain about Nintendo. But Sony and Xbox in particular, not only have they made a number of stupid decisions, but they've dropped IPs that they used to have. And they take forever to come out with these games. And some of the bigger publishers like Square Enix, they have been sort of chasing the HD. Whereas back in the day, you know, we were getting Final Fantasy every 1 to 2 years. So Yeah, I think to Slam's point, it is expecting the impossible if you want that quality of game more frequently. It's just not going to happen. But if they do it right and they have the right teams in place and they're not sort of reinventing the wheel, I'm not saying it needs to be formulaic, but when you're not reinventing the wheel with your teams, you can get way more out of them because they're going to have that experience working together specifically. So you don't have that sort of storming part of getting a new team together where they have to figure each other out and figure out how to work together and figure out the tools and all this kind of stuff. You can just let them go. So I hope to see more of that from publishers in the future. Time will tell, but it seems like some publishers in the JRPG space in particular are starting to figure that out. So yeah, there's hope. There's hope for this one, I think.
Yeah, this genre in particular, I think, has a way better chance of adopting like that process just because of how the games look and, you know, just kind of the way that development works with them. Yeah. They're not going to struggle in that pivot as much as like a AAA company would. Yeah, for sure. Yep. All right. Next one, we got Medic on Ice. Shout outs. Said, hey, podcast peeps. He said, hey, podcast cast peeps. I need to read that correctly. We're the podcast cast. Yeah. The last couple weeks, there has been far too much positivity aimed at how awesome the hosts are. So my question this week is, for each host, what is an opinion each of your co-hosts hold that you vehemently disagree with to the point it hurts, or a hill they are willing to die on that you are more than happy to knock them off of? Remember, this is the Level Up Legacy Summer Spam Slam, and I want a good effort out there. Below the belt shots are not only allowed, but encouraged. Leave it all out there, folks. Medic out. Going to bed.
This is going to be so easy for you guys, for me, because you guys hate all kinds of stuff that I enjoy. Yeah, so I'll leave it to you guys first. Go ahead.
So, what is an opinion each of your co-hosts hold that you vehemently disagree with?
Is there anything we vehemently disagree with?
I mean, Slam's love of Burger King and Long John Silver's.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I said nothing of Burger King. Long John Silver's is fair, but to be fair,
Long John Silver's is making a comeback.
Burger King in the tier list, though.
Yeah, but like I just didn't want it in like trash tier. Listen,
yes.
Long John Silver's is making a comeback. Look everywhere. Everyone's trying it. Everyone's like, Long John Silver's. I had no idea it was this amazing. Just, I'm telling you, but yeah, if you want to hate on the Long John Silver's, that's okay.
I do want to, and I did.
And Diarrhea Bell.
Stop it.
The lettuce is contaminated. You're going to get the lettuce poops.
You love Taco Bell too, dude. Get out of here.
I do, but I recognize what it is,
And Slam doesn't. Slam thinks it's like the creme de la creme of fast food.
It's the best fast
don't
food
say
restaurant.
creme when we're talking about diarrhea.
It's the best
you put
fast
that
food
together.
restaurant.
I didn't do that.
Yeah,
that was all
he
you,
does
buddy.
that all the time.
He does that all the time. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Is that as good as it gets for Slam, though?
I mean,
I don't have anything I vehemently disagree with you guys about.
Yeah, it's like we get along so well. Like, I feel like there are mostly because like we do feel the same on lots of things, but vehemently disagree. I mean, you guys stay sick way too much.
That's sick.
Sick.
I'm trying to think.
That is sick.
What about
Brandon? What about me and you, man?
Yeah.
I can't think of maybe that tin can you drink out of.
We like to make fun of the tin can.
We do.
There you go.
Actually.
Our next sponsor.
Let's go.
What is it?
What?
About time we get some sponsors in here.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Mags' hate for Resident Evil 9, even though she's never played it, she should understand it's the best game of the year so far.
It's not. It's
It
not the best
definitely
game of the
is.
year so far. Are we kidding?
It is. No, I'm not kidding.
No, it's not. No, it's
What's
not.
better?
Trails Beyond the Horizon is better.
Well, I didn't play that.
Well, that's your fault.
hey, I only got so many hours in a day.
Okay.
These games are like so I'm hundreds of hours away.
Wait, where are you on the path, Slam?
Still on Cold Steel 3.
He's slowing down.
He is. He's slowed his roll significantly.
Well, I have a lot of games come out.
It's okay.
There's so many things I had review videos to make. You know,
it's okay.
I'll get back to it. You know,
I don't
also,
want
it's
to
on
pressure
PS5, so
Yeah.
I have to like, you know, be
I
in
know.
the office when I do it. So.
I get it. I'm not
You
pressuring
know what?
you.
I think because Medic on Ice was trying to be such a butthead, I'm just going to say I love you guys, and there isn't anything that we vehemently disagree on, and I'm
We
so
tried
glad
really
you're
hard
here.
to answer your question.
And this
and
is
I don't
the
know why.
best.
We vehemently disagree with you
Yeah.
for asking us that question.
He's gonna be so aggravated at this answer. I just know it. It's gonna be
We're
so
gonna
funny.
turn on him. We love each other.
Get him. Get him.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, so wholesome. You know
Yeah.
what? Because we are awesome, Medic on Ice, and we'll continue to talk about how awesome we are.
The only thing, just let the record show that the only thing anyone disagrees with anyone about is the fact that I like Long John Silver's and they've never had it.
I
So,
have had it.
Sure,
What are you even talking about?
whatever you say. Okay, if you had it and you said that it was good, the Hush Puppies were good. You said that. Let the record show.
Whether or not I've had it is irrelevant.
It's so relevant. You can't eat something you've never had, Brandon.
It's hard to mess up Hush Puppies, okay? Like, you have to be, like, bottom of the barrel to be able to do that.
Like if
coconut
they messed
shrimp
up Hush
is
Puppies,
really
bro,
good,
like
too.
they would be in a tier below garbage tier. Like you
Long
can't
John
mess up
Silver's
Hush
has
Puppies.
great Hush
the
Puppies.
ineptitude tier.
Has great coconut shrimp. Has great fried fish. Even the chicken is good. French fries are good. If you mix the malt vinegar with the tartar sauce, it's top
Tartar
tier.
sauce.
Y'all are missing out, man.
I'd rather go to Five Guys. All right, next question.
Or Culver's.
Ooh, shout outs is from Ophidian Mind. I love how that was just a side note. I love how that was like a stupid idea that we were like, let's just do this for fun because we can. And we have referenced it almost every single episode since
It's true.
did that.
The fast food tier list will live on forever.
Oh man, it really will.
Yeah.
It
I
really
feel like that's
will.
all we need to do another one. We need to do like a cereal one or something because
We should.
it'll just advance the lore even further.
I love it. Okay, Ophidian Mind. So, with Sony and Microsoft being in a hold my beer competition to see who could be the worst console manufacturer, Nintendo is strangely in a position where they are now obviously the least worst of the big three, even after all the bad decisions they made during the launch of the Switch 2. What moves do you think Nintendo could make in the future to win over gamers and easily win the console war of this generation and perhaps also future generations? A suggestion I have is for Nintendo to make multiple sizes of physical carts, which is one of the answers, by the way, and not allow third-party publishers to do game key card releases unless they file a request for permission and have a really good reason for it, like having a game that is 100 gigabytes plus in a file size. Even then, maybe Nintendo could work out a deal to give them cartridges at a discount instead as an investment in the game to help boost sales numbers by helping them keep the price down on full physical releases.
I'm going to tell you right now, Nintendo is already winning by doing absolutely nothing. And it is kind of incredible to see, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, you've got that physical cartridge, different sizes. That's been confirmed that they're doing that. They have like 3 size increments that they're going to be doing going forward. I think we'll see a lot fewer game key cards in the years to come.
Yeah.
I also think that when everybody's raising their prices by hundreds of dollars, Nintendo sitting back and be like, okay, well, we'll raise it by $50 and still be by like the next step up from what's the PS5 base? That's like a $700 now.
Something like that.
Is it 7 or 8?
It's $700 or $800. So like you can almost buy 2 Switch 2s for the price of like the next step up, like this generation's like cheapest console. I mean, there's the Xbox Series S, but who's buying that? Nobody's buying that.
No, it's not that.
So you have the Switch 2 at like a great entry point. Everything is getting ported over there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Square, can I talk for a second with what they're doing?
Let them have it.
With their
Ports.
Switch 2 versions of things. Shadow Drop and Star Ocean Second Story are one of my all-time favorites. Okay. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, I'm going to play this again. But no save data transfer. Have to buy it outright full price for the Switch 2, even though you already have it on Switch 1.
Yeah.
Like, man, $50 just
That's
for the Switch 2 upgrade.
Dude.
Yeah.
And they're doing it with Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 as well.
Yep.
Square is making some wild
and Dragon
decisions
Quest
right
11.
now. Yeah.
And Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, it's
Now,
bad.
I think like the only time it's justified is when you do it with like a really big game, right? Like, okay, maybe Dragon Quest 11 if you're like really glowing up a game that is old and doesn't perform well on the Switch 2, the Switch 1 version just like is kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
So fine, but it still needs save data transfers. Like,
yeah,
if that's
sure.
a doable thing, like that should be there.
The save data blocking is absurd
It's
because like
predatory.
Nintendo,
nuts to me.
Yeah, even if there is no upgrade path, like I'm not saying I would do this, but in theory, someone could be like, Star Ocean, I'm willing to buy it digitally for the Switch 2, and then I can do a New Game Plus run or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it's just such an easy thing that could get people over that line if you wanted to hold that line.
They're clearly making these for people that don't have the game already. Like,
Which is
this
so
is
dumb.
this is what they're targeting. It's like they need to be a little bit more understanding of like who their audience is. Because like their audience is like people like me and Brandon who have played these games already and want to play them again.
And would I get a Switch 2 version of Star Ocean 2? Yes. But now I'm like, forget you guys. Like
$50.
We literally just got limited run physical versions for these games.
Yeah.
So I have this cool epic physical version, and you're telling me I can't upgrade and I have no save data transfer. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I just got this thing.
But to get back to Ophidian Mind's question.
Yes.
Sorry, went off on a tangent there. I think Nintendo is kind of winning by doing a whole lot of nothing. Like they have set themselves up better because they entered this generation with physical cartridge, like on their console. So, like the Switch 2 is probably going to be around for like 7 years. They'll probably do a like Switch 2 OLED or whatever. But like for sure, the Switch 2 is going to be around for a hot minute. So, you're going to get physical games from Nintendo for like another decade. And so that's a win. And then secondly, this from like a performance standpoint, it's exceeding all expectations in terms of like how these ports are looking, how Nintendo is like, handling their new hardware, which I was personally worried about. Like, how would they do with making games that are like 4K and like high res and high performing stuff? Because Nintendo's not, used to doing that, but they've been doing great. So I think they just keep doing what they're doing. They will far exceed, PlayStation and Xbox, and now the Steam machine, which released basically a base PS5 for $1,500. So,
yeah. I don't have a ton to add. I think, they're already ahead of the curve. I mean, they gave all their employees a raise too.
Yeah.
That's great PR, and like I'm sure they wanted to push that out there after like all of the layoffs because it just makes them look great. And that's cool. I think one thing that they could do that like I don't think they've really done, and maybe this comes later, is like just have a very like concrete like digital ownership like method for the Switch 2, because I think a lot of people play digital and that's fine. And I think the real issue is the ownership. It's like, if you want a physical copy, great. If you want a digital copy, great. Just make sure that you own both of them. And so if they could establish just a very like clear and consumer friendly like method of digital ownership, which they already have some things there where like you have game share and stuff like that. Like, I think if they just like enhance that further, like they're locked in to be number one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, PC is its separate thing, and like Steam does a good job with that. And I don't no shade to Steam at all, because I think that they do that well. But from a console company standpoint, if they can do that, Sony and Microsoft can't touch them.
Yep.
So
yeah,
it.
So a couple things. Number one, I agree. The physical cartridge thing is a big win.
Yeah.
And I need everybody to understand, like, the speaking up about the Sony situation. I know some people are like, oh, Sony's not going to listen. Everybody is listening. Everybody is listening. This is the free market, free-ish market. But it's enough of a free market that if there are other companies and they're hearing the same things, those are competitive advantages that they can take to destroy their competition. So Nintendo, having already had good PR with giving their teams raises, and then it basically being leaked that they have or confirmed that they have these different cartridge sizes, that's a big win from them. Because they're giving options to their publishers, and because the market is paying attention, and consumers are paying attention, that is going to add a ton of pressure to the actual publishers to stop using key cards and start using physical cartridges where they can. So don't think that, like, this whole digital future non-ownership thing is inevitable. I've said this before. For some reason on Twitter, people have mocked me for saying that I don't think it's inevitable. It's not. If there is enough pressure, the market will adjust. Like, we are the ones with the power, and we're already seeing that happen with Nintendo. So, in fact, we just heard rumors today that Project Helix from Xbox might have a disk drive. It wasn't going to, but they might go that direction because of the outcry and because they'd be able to pull that off. If Xbox has a handheld that has a disk drive and it's backwards compatible, you don't think that's going to absolutely destroy Sony trying to come out with something that's digital only? It's Xbox, so I have my reservations on whether or not this is actually going to pan out. But this is the market competition. If Xbox knows they could pull that off with minimal change to their plans that they have already, they're going to do it to stick it to Sony, because Sony's been sticking it to them for years, right? So we want to see that competition. We need to make them know what we want and what's important to us, and they will adjust. And I think Nintendo's doing that. And I think this is going to be a very interesting next 5 to 10 years that we have on our hands. I'll even be interested to see if Sony does continue this when people aren't buying PS6s, because even if people quiet down on Twitter, I think people are going to be pretty pissed off about this, and I do think it's going to impact their sales. We'll see, but it's already impacting their stock. So
I do think it really does depend on competition. Like, if Xbox does come direct competition to Sony, has physical games, is on the same level of power as whatever the next PlayStation is, and they leverage the studios that they've acquired well enough, you know, have the turntables.
Exactly.
Those Office references again.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not inevitable that Sony will be in the position they are right now. The market will adjust. People will lose faith in brands that are very obviously not consumer forward. Like, I mean, this is just the cycle of the
Xbox
market.
back in the 360. The PS3 was like, by the wayside. Was going to be, people were wondering if there would be another PlayStation. Yeah, and then PS4 and PS5 kind of ran the gambit, and
then Xbox
is in the hole,
One,
and
they came out with all that crap, and Sony used that opportunity to destroy them. Right? Yeah, that can flip any day with these kinds of decisions. So
that's true.
Yeah. Power to the consumers. All right. Next question. All right. This one is from Infinity Loop. Hey, tactics guys and gals. With all the Fire Emblem hype bubbling up, I was wondering how you all feel about the multi-route approach Fire Emblem has taken in a couple of their games now. You know what? We might have had something to say about that at this very episode.
We might have answered this question.
Feel free to stop here and ignore my ramblings below. I think for the sake of time, I will. But I think we pretty much answered that. Does anybody want to add anything?
I mean, I think I'll just reiterate and say I do like multi routes as long as it's handled well, as long as it doesn't add to like an experience that is like or feels like a slog, I guess. Like because the routes can show different perspectives and you can really tell compelling stories that way if it's done right. It just has to be executed well. And there doesn't need to be like a common route at the beginning that adds a lot of time.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue with it, honestly, is the time commitment.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool concept. It adds a level of depth to the game that you don't get from some games, and it also adds a bunch of variety to gameplay, which makes it really fun and interesting.
Yeah.
It is a hard balance to strike because you want to make it so that players who play only one path are getting a full experience, but you also don't want to make it so that players who are willing to go all in aren't rewarded for doing so. And I do think Three Houses does kind of straddle that line pretty well. Like if you do one path, it's still going to be a great game. If you do all of them, you're going to get an entirely different experience that is incredible. So, yeah. Slam, any thoughts?
No, I mean, I think you guys covered it really well. I'm in agreement.
All right. Okay, we got two more then. We'll get through these. So from I Am Maki. Hello, everyone. So I'm not proud to share this, but the recent Sony news got me into a mini spiral, and I ended up checking out several PS5 games. Maybe that 15% physical market share will increase, and several Switch games to spite Sony. Mostly games that I was on the fence about buying physically before, but finally pulled the trigger. That said, do you have any particular RPG or games in general that's currently digital only, but you would like to have a physical release before 2028? Or any games that already had a physical release, but for some reason you haven't purchased yet? Thanks, and stay fun and cool as always.
Oh.
Hey, I've got plenty because I just started collecting physical games again. There's a lot of games that I'm like, oh man, I really wish I had that, physically. But like, I don't know if they ever came out with a physical edition of I Am Setsuna. I would have liked to have that one in my collection.
I don't know if they did, but let me check.
I feel like they might have like a limited release or something like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then there's a few that I haven't got physically that I would like to have physically. I want all the Xenoblades physically, so I am going to get those on Switch too. I'm going to get Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3 when they release physically on the Switch too.
There is an Asian release. It's English, but it's an Asian release for I Am Setsuna. You
could probably get it through like Play Asia or VGP if you want.
That's my answer.
Yeah. Yeah, there are so many games that have had physical releases that I don't have yet that I want, and they're on my wish lists for certain stores like VGP and Play Asia. Mainly just a lot of like more niche Japanese games that I'd like to pick up because those physical copies are harder to come by as time goes on. So I hope to get those eventually. And then as far as digital games, like there's a lot of indie games that I've played digitally that I would love to have physically. It's just more of like, can these companies find publishers to help them? So like, for example, a cool recent example is Demon School. It was a game I played last year and got a code for. It's getting a physical release via Fangamer in the future.
Shout out to Fangamer.
Yeah, so that's exciting. There's another game that I played, I guess it was maybe 2 years ago. It was called 1000X Resist. Amazing indie game, but has not had a physical release. I'd love to have that one. So most of those for me are games that just don't have a physical edition due to resources. And so I hope to pick them up if they ever, like I'll definitely support the physical release once they come out.
Yeah.
If they do.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any digital only JRPGs outside of indies that I that I know of that I can think of off the top of my head. Fortunately, most of them, got at least a limited run physical for some of these things. Because I was thinking like Armored Core, but I think there are physical releases for those.
Yeah, there's been, unless they're indies, that I feel like most of them do get physical releases in some capacity.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's Asia. It's like Play Asia. It's an Asian version, and that's just all you have.
Yeah.
But I'll snag those too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. We're gonna be okay, buddy. You don't need to spiral. It's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be okay.
I like that.
All right. Last question from Raylix. He says, "Hey gang, just in case no one told you all lately, I'll be the first to say, let's go, baby, let's go, baby, let's go, baby, let's go, baby. Take it home, Mags." All right, fine.
We got to get to the question.
I'm finding it increasingly harder lately to
Excuses.
find the light in the looming darkness that is overtaking the future of the gaming industry. With that said, I've been thinking a lot more about what has been special in gaming that's held up through decades of my time playing. My question for y'all today is, when you're 80 years old and think back on your time with JRPGs, what do you hope you'll remember most? The games themselves, the people they connected you with, or the person they helped you become? I'll ask this again on the pod when y'all are 80 and Mags has beaten Resident Evil 23. Thanks as always, Level Up Legacy.
One of us.
Oh.
One of us. Yeah. she'll come around eventually.
Maybe I will.
The way you said that. Oh, so good.
Gotta leave the mystery.
Yeah. I think for me, it's a combination of things. You know, like I'm kind of old, dude. So like I can look back and remember, you know, I mean, I've been playing JRPGs for like over 30 years. So like I could look back and remember 30 years ago. And it's like you can think of the things that you remembered playing those games back then. And for me, it's like, you know, my uncle ushering me into the genre, kind of like guiding me through games over the phone when I didn't have a walkthrough or hadn't, you know, I was like on the second disc of Legend of Dragoon or something and couldn't figure anything out. And, you know, you got to call your uncle and he, you know, kind of guides you through things, or, you know, going and bringing your favorite JRPG over to your buddy's house and you stay up all night till like the sun comes up playing the game, or, you know, like leaving the game on, you know, so you can listen to the music in the background. You know, it's like these kind of memories are like core memories that did help shape who I am. But also like they helped me kind of form more memories, more, you know, like better relationships and things like that with the people that I shared them with. So I imagine when I'm 80 years old, those same thoughts are going to be present, except I'll remember back when I was in my 30s and I had a podcast with a couple of my friends and we sat up and talked about JRPGs once a week until 1 a.m. So
Seriously.
At this rate.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just the memories associated. And I think that fits with all three of the things that Raylix mentioned: the games themselves, the stories they tell, the characters you fall in love with and who inspire you, the people that you connect with. I mean, I think about all of the people that I know because I played video games, and it goes all the way back to like elementary school when we would play Pokemon and like trade Pokemon through the link cables, to like playing different games with my cousins growing up, to even now with you two and everyone in our Discord and all these wonderful people that I met online just because we enjoy this hobby. Like, it's just so amazing to think about how much it's brought people together. And I will never take that for granted because it's done that for me my whole life. And I'm so thankful. And I think in turn, when you meet all these different people and they affect your life, it does affect who you are too. And you become better because of it. And you learn about yourself and you learn about other people. And it's it's just amazing that like a hobby can do that and bring people together in such meaningful ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the human connection is what matters the most. It will always matter the most. And games can often facilitate that in interesting ways, especially JRPGs for us. Whether that's what's already been described, playing with friends or doing something like this or being in a Discord. But these games are so well loved by us because of the themes in the stories and how those characters overcome challenges and those kinds of things, and they can spur us on to think differently or process things differently or more effectively. They can spur on conversation with friends. But for me, whenever I think about experiences with, doing games now, like I'm playing Digimon and I'm excited to talk to these guys about it. Right. And I'm excited to just nerd out about what I'm figuring out, what I'm doing and these kinds of things. And, I don't know, when I'm 80, I probably won't forget the ins and outs of Digimon, but that was a catalyst to other forms of connection and opportunities to talk about it and get excited about it. And just sharing the human experience with others and enjoying storytelling and enjoying things that stimulate our minds and allow for this kind of connection is that's what it's all about. So I think that's what I'll be looking back on when I'm 80. Not necessarily what specific games I loved, but just the fact that, to Mag's point, we're able to build a life with this stuff in a weird way that maybe we didn't expect when we were kids, So
yeah,
that's a great question, though. I love that.
It was such a good question. Thanks, Raylux.
Gave us a nice sentimental podcast moment.
I know, and it was a perfect way to end the Q&A.
We've had a few of those in this episode.
I know.
Thanks, Medic on Ice, for reminding us how much that he reminded us how much we love each other.
Because we couldn't think of anything we hated about each other.
Yeah.
No, that's so
what
funny.
He wanted. That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if he had asked this question during a tier list episode, I feel like it might have hit a little bit different. But
yeah, if we like read it out after the tier list conversation happened, and
that's why I'm like, that could have happened, but thankfully
it's
it
true. It could have.
Bad. No tier list this week.
Nope.
All right, but we do have a bonus XP segment, and Mags, I believe it's you, correct?
It's me. So we're holding the first ever Level Up Legacy game auction.
Let's go, baby.
So, Brandon and Slam, you both have $20 that you get to spend. 20.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. $20.
That's what we had established. Now we could change it.
That's fine. Yeah.
But
if I spend on something, can I resell and make money?
No. This is an auction.
This is not eBay, Brandon.
Dang it.
Do you have
final sale?
I wish we had like one of those cool like soundboards where I could do the auction voice. The guy that talks like really fast and crazy.
Yeah, I know.
We don't have that.
We don't have that, but maybe for the next one,
level up this legacy at some point.
This is our like test run for the auction. So this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna reveal a game, and you guys are gonna bid on it until we have a winner, and whoever wins gets that game.
Got it.
And I guess we're going to go until everyone has 3 games, right?
Yes.
And then
or $0,
whichever comes first.
Okay.
And let us know who got the better games, who has the better like overall package at the end.
If needed, can I borrow money from the bank?
No,
the bank has denied your loan.
Dang it.
Or like, you're going to spend it on what? No,
we're good. No loan for you.
No loan for you. Okay. So remember, $20. So spend wisely or not. All right, we are going to start the auction off with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
What a freaking...
Hey, y'all let me be in charge, so
Look,
I'm working my magic.
We'll start the-
$1.
$3.
$4.
$5.
$5.50.
Okay,
No,
dollar
we can't do
increments
$5.50.
only. I'm not
$1
keeping up with
increments.
change.
$6.
$7 for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
$8 for Final
Okay,
Fantasy VII Rebirth.
you can have it.
$8 going once. $8 going twice. Sold to Brandon for $8.
All right, let's go, baby.
I was going to spend 50%. Can't spend 50%. There's got to be some good games in here, Mags. So don't leave me hanging. Give me the gold.
Oh, it's funny you say gold because the next game is Persona 4 Golden.
Hey, look at that. You know, look
I
at
hate you,
that.
Max.
Look at that transition. That was so clean. Listen, just start the bidding off at $1.
Yep. Starting at
$2.
$3.
$4.
$6.
Ooh, slam with the $2 increase. Mixing it up. What did
She's
you
gonna let me have
did
it.
you bid? $6 going once, $6 going twice. Sold to slam for $6. Persona 4 Golden. All right.
And for the records show that I still have $14 and Brandon only has 12.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Well, the next one is going to be Xenoblade 3.
$6.
Started off at $6.
That's a crazy bid. Oh my gosh.
$8.
Oh. $8 going once. $8 going
$9.
twice.
He's only got $12.
$9 going once. $9 going twice.
I can't let him have like $10.
Oh my gosh, Xenoblade 3. Of course, I knew this was going to happen. All right, $10. Slam has bid $10. $10 going once. $10 going twice. Sold to Slam for $10.
Slam
Xenoblade
has
3.
$4 left,
Yeah.
and I have $12 left.
Yep.
Mhm.
Excellent.
But you still have 2 slots to fill. I only have 1.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, this will be a fun one. The next game is going to be Unicorn Overlord. Time to spend your money, friends.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Hey, greatest story ever told. A game that Brandon never finished.
So we really can't speak to if it is the greatest story ever told. Some would say
No, it was.
It's the
It
greatest
changed my
story
life.
ever.
I only have
told.
$4, so I mean, I'm not going to bid.
You're not going to bid on it at all?
No.
Not
bid.
even $1?
Not even a dollar.
Well, that's sad.
We can only get 3 games.
Well, it's like we're going to either get 3 or run out of money. And I have a bunch of games if
Yeah,
we end
that's
up going for
why I
more.
said have some extras.
Yeah.
Is it possible
I feel
for
like
me
we
to
could-
have more than 3 games?
Since we're only allowed to have 3 games. It's the 3. So like we can pass on a game. Like if we choose not to bid, if both of us choose not to bid, then
If neither one of you bid on Unicorn Overlord, I'm going to be so aggravated.
I only have $4.
But he's got $4, and I
this
have
is the
2
game
slots
that's-
left, and
this-
it's you, Mags. Like you're
It's
gonna
the-
have some other banger games in this list.
Oh yeah,
But
she's
you
gonna have
guys-
great
and
games
you
too.
made it a Discord.
This was a troll
voting.
game from Mags, and she's gonna win this troll because we're not gonna bid on it, and then she's never gonna let us live it down.
No, because
But-
you guys obsess over this game and talk about it, and you're not even going to spend money on it.
Unicorn Overlord.
Guess it wasn't the greatest story ever told. That
It's
was
about the
it.
long game. It's the long game here.
It's a long game here.
Well,
And Unicorn Overlord is just
just-
not long enough.
it was too long.
It's too long.
So you're not bidding on it?
No bids. For me.
This is so. The Discord is going to be so disappointed in y'all. I hope you know there will be consequences. Okay, well, we're just going to kick that one out.
Sorry, Unicorn Overlord.
We love you.
Maybe next time.
Can't believe you guys skipped it. I'm still in shock. Okay, the next game is going to be Expedition 33.
$1.
$2.
$4.
Okay.
$5.
Okay. He gets it.
Oh, $5 going once. I got to say the thing, Slam.
Yeah, go ahead.
$5 going twice. Yeah. Sold. Expedition 33 to Brandon
Expedition
for $5. Okay, so now you both have 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I have $4 left, and he has what? $7?
Yes, $7.
6, 7.
Oh, okay. I knew that was coming. I was like, oh,
No,
don't do
okay.
that. Don't do that. Okay. All right. The next game is going to be Zelda Breath of the Wild. Mixing it up a little bit.
I like that.
And I purposefully didn't pick Ocarina or Tears because I didn't want to set that off again.
Yeah, probably good that you didn't do that. $1.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna pass.
Now here, let me ask. Since we still have money, do we have to cap this at 3 games?
That's what I already asked.
I'm sorry we didn't think this auction through. I mean, I can just keep coming up with games. So
yeah, let's just keep
going
going until we run out of money.
Okay.
Let's do it. I have $3 left, and I've got Breath of the Wild.
We didn't end it then. If that's the case, then $2.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay,
got it.
So Breath of the Wild, $2 in Brandon's court.
I'm not gonna vote. I only have $4, so I want to save it.
Okay, so Zelda going once, going twice, sold to Brandon for $2.
So I have $5 left, and I have Breath of the Wild, Expedition 33, and Rebirth.
Yes.
And I have Xenoblade 3 and Persona 4 Golden.
Yes. Sorry, I'm making notes. Okay, the next game is going to be Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake.
Let's go. $1.
$2.
$3.
What is this noise? $3 going once. $3 going twice. Sold.
All right.
To Slant for $3.
I got $1 left. Maybe a game will come along that Brandon doesn't want to bid on that I can grab.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm betting on I'm betting on whatever's coming next, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I mean, Slam's stacked. I don't think I'm going to win this one, to be honest. You got Persona 4, you have Xenoblade 3 and Trails. Like, that's pretty good.
You've got Rebirth, Expedition 33, and Zelda Breath of the Wild, though. That's solid.
It's not bad. It's not
That's
bad.
Very
but
solid.
I have to win by quantity now, I think.
Oh, sure. Okay. I gotta think of some more. Okay. How about Fire Emblem Awakening?
Ooh, Awakening. $1.
I only have $1 left, so I'm gonna pass.
Brandon
can have it for $1.
He's like, man, $1. Okay. All right. Let's see. How about Tales of Arise?
Not with my last dollar. Not with my last dollar.
I got you $1.
Yeah, pass.
Oh my do I have to keep thinking of games? Okay.
Why do I keep having to think of games?
I didn't-
I love
didn't-
that reaction. That's so good.
I thought of like 8, and now it's like, okay.
Why do I have to keep thinking of games?
I didn't sign up for this.
That's so.
You did sign up for this. You actually did.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay.
No, I can do this.
Okay.
There's plenty
do
of
this.
games that you could choose from.
I'm just tired. Okay. Okay. How about Pokemon Crystal?
Ooh, $1.
Yeah, I'll do $1.
But I already did $1.
Yeah, but you would have to do $2. You know.
But I already did the $1.
Oh, so I can't match your bid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
have
think
to
you
say
have
it
to be able
first.
to bid more.
Yeah.
So
I got it. That's that. I have to say it first, right?
you have to say it, and then he has to
Yeah.
try it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You gotta be quick
He
on the
gets
draw, Slam. Okay.
How many games do you have now?
This
I have
makes 5.
I have 5 games. Okay. I'm only going to have 3.
How much money do you have left, Brandon? $1.
I have $3 left.
Oh,
And since I only have $1, he can get games for $1.
yeah.
Every
Unless you
time.
bid first and get one last game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's think. Do they? Okay, I guess they can be JRPG or JRPG adjacent.
You can also repeat a franchise too if you wanted to.
I know I was trying not to do that, but forget it. I'm
You
just gonna
might
do
need
it.
to at this
Okay.
point. Yeah.
Persona 5 Strikers.
1.
You can have it for $1. Yeah, he
Sold
loves
to
those
Brandon.
Muso games. Yeah.
I feel like I was surprised you didn't even try for that one, Slam.
I just saw his face light up and was like, man,
Oh
Persona
my
5
God.
It's like
anything
this-
I'm
it's
going
like
to take.
the-
And I
Yeah,
love
it's
yeah.
like the
Strikers.
sun. It's like the sun.
It's like okay. Final Fantasy X.
$1. $1.
$1.
I'll let you have that one, buddy.
He's gonna
Oh.
let me have it.
Wow. I don't think I would if I had $2 left.
He only has $2 left, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So my list is over.
Yep. Yep.
So I feel like we could call it now because otherwise you're just
No,
gonna be listing
you can
off
give me
random
2 more
and give it
games.
to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Give him 2 more games, Mags.
I swear.
Mags basically gets to choose the next 2 games on your list. Is what's happening.
Yeah, unless he passes them, which you've both done multiple times.
Yeah, I still have to want to bid, so they have to be games that
I
I
feel
bid
like
on.
I feel like we need to tweak the auction for next time.
Yeah,
We-
we
for
should
next
have a
time, sure.
max. Okay, what we did wrong was 3 games. We should have had it at like 5.
Sure.
Is what we should.
Yeah. Or just had like you can't pass any of them.
Oh, you have to buy it.
Yeah.
That might, yeah. Okay, Max,
Because-
but you still got 2 for me. Come on.
Okay. Let me think.
This is so funny.
I'm
Look at
glad
him.
you're having fun. Okay. I don't know why I'm blanking. Like there's literally so many games. Oh, okay. Star Ocean 1.
Pass.
Oh my gosh.
See, that's what you have to do. It has to be a good enough
Fine.
game.
Okay, fine. If we're gonna Final Fantasy 9.
Ooh, $1.
Okay, thank you.
The way he's reacting. Ooh, one. He's even
This
doing.
is so
He's even.
I'm so mad.
He's even doing the auction part. Of it.
Ooh.
You're not even auctioning against anyone anymore. You're just getting whatever games she thinks of.
He still passed on one.
What even is this?
God. Okay. One more game. One that Brandon can't turn down.
Oh my god, I'm cry.
I know.
Oh.
It's after midnight, y'all. Bear with us. Why can't I think of anything?
Ooh, $1.
Stop.
So good.
Let me just see. What games do I have for here?
She's choosing them off her shelf now.
Okay,
What
okay,
games do I
okay.
have?
Xenoblade 1.
I'll take that $1.
Okay.
Awesome. $1.
Okay.
Please, $1 for that.
Okay. We're done.
Andy, what you didn't know, Mags, is that we pulled together. I co-signed for the loan for Brandon.
Yes.
He was able to get one from the bank. We got
That's
$20
right.
more.
You can take it elsewhere. Take your business elsewhere. You're not welcome in this auction house anymore.
There will be more rules in place for bonus XP auction next time. But let the record show this is like the funnest bonus XP I think we've ever done.
What happened?
So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We got it.
Can you give us a final list, please?
Yes. Sorry.
Brandon's got like 30 games.
Okay. Hang on. Let me organize
They're
this.
just an amalgamation of Mags's brain. Like,
Let's see here. Sorry. Let me just paste them together real quick.
oh, what an amazing game.
Okay. So Slam has Xenoblade 3, Trails in the Sky, First Chapter Remake, Final Fantasy X, and Persona 4 Golden.
Man, what a list.
Which,
dude.
yeah, I mean, that I'm telling you, that's a solid list, dude.
Yep. And then Brandon, hang on, let me copy and
He
paste
went
this
bargain bin
here.
hunting, man. Ooh, yeah, $1.
$1.
So Brandon
Not even
has
playing anymore.
Brandon has Rebirth, Expedition 33, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Fire Emblem Awakening, Pokemon Crystal, Persona 5 Strikers, Final Fantasy 9, and Xenoblade. He broke the freaking auction.
How did this happen, dude? People are gonna vote on it at like face value. If they didn't watch the episode, they're gonna be like,
They have to watch the episode or they're not going to have a clue.
Oh, man.
okay, that was good.
That was
That was
amazing.
good. That was an amazing bonus XP.
And that concludes bonus XP.
Yeah, and that will wrap up the episode, everyone. So thanks for being here through all the chaos. If you are somehow still here and you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Join us on the journey. We're having a good time, and we would love to have you along. And with all of that, Slam, where can everybody find you?
Slam Zanny on all the things, YouTube and Twitter mostly. Yeah, and right here on this podcast.
That's right. Max, where can everybody find you?
That's right. You can find me at Avenger Mags on Twitter and Blue Sky, writing for Nintendo Force magazine, and right here on this podcast.
That's right. And after that auction, she's going to be in Zimbabwe. But I'm Retro Brandon, and you can find me at Retro Brandon on YouTube, at Nova Brand on Twitter, and right here on this podcast. We love you all. Thanks for being here. We got to get out of here.
Bye.
See you on the next one.
Later.